Live from his mother's basement, the world according to Shaka.
Sun shining hotter than it used to be.
Woo! Now that's a Shaka.
There ain't no more fish in the sea.
Live from my basement.
And we never really know what to believe.
Oh, cool.
It don't make sense if it's on TV.
I don't need that. I don't need that either. We're gonna solve the world's problems.
It's a light, and you can link it.
We're gonna bring peace to the planet.
I can save the world with baking soda.
We're gonna make heaven on earth. And that's just the start.
So without further ado, let's show some warmth for Jimmy Shaka.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Scoot.
Oh,
What's new, bro?
nothing. You gotta light your You know, I was thinking about this. I thought it was interesting that that you brought this last time because holy wood, right?
Yeah.
Which is where where the name Hollywood comes from.
Huh.
There you go.
Pretty cool.
Yes, we have cannolis. Leave the gun, take the cannolis. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. And action.
We're on.
All right.
That's funny as fuck. What is...
Okay, so once again, Jimmy Shaka hanging out with Rafael Rivera.
A lot of R.
Raff.
That's me.
And warning. Bad words.
Don't be triggered, everyone.
Bad words.
Good God, I can't believe, I love yoga and I love sharing space with people. Boy, do people break chops about the most ridiculous things in the world.
Yeah.
You're aware, it literally says, I'm a foul-mouthed person. I kind of just give a disclaimer on the little thing, a little blurb on Instagram. But unfortunately, people still must you use such foul language? I'm like, why the fuck not? What's the problem here?
Fuck yeah.
But now, I work with kids, and I kind of, so I do reel it in from time to time. So that's where the delicate balance.
So bad words. And but I would never slap a word like I just did because that would be a word abuse.
That's right.
But
it's 2019. Word lives matter.
Right.
Too soon.
But we will be abusing the English language and possibly others.
Yes. Valid. So what's been up, bro? Since this last shindig we had last week?
Nothing. I kind of. Well, I did a lot of editing and got the show up. And
thank you, and thank you again for putting this together, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
This is what we do.
Yeah. A lot of really good feedback from it. So it's all good.
Just take it. Take this road where it goes.
Yeah. So but I feel. First of all, it's my daughter's 16th birthday, but I feel like a fat bastard because. We've been eating nothing but cannolis for 3 days, so you got to help me polish them off.
Of course. Too easy.
I said, what do you want for your birthday? She goes, I want a key lime pie. No, I want lemon meringue pie and cannolis. I said, you got it. So
my girlfriend makes an awesome key lime pie.
Oh, yeah? My favorite.
It's fucking crack.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absurd. Yeah. It's absurd how delicious things can be sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, those are the moments I'm like, ooh, I like the senses a lot.
Yeah. Yes. And you know the movie The Matrix, right? Of course. But where there's that guy, he was like one of the good guys, but he was actually a douchebag, the bald guy.
Yeah, with the freaking little
the little thing and
he had this no hair.
Right.
Yes, I remember who you're talking about. And he's having steak dinner.
Yes, he's eating a steak, and he's like, I know it's not real, but it's delicious, right? I think that's what we're doing right now.
I have that regular thought. Actually, this morning, The Matrix came up. I didn't bring it up for a change.
Interesting.
And one of the people I was working with was like, I'm watching all The Matrix with my boyfriend and exploring this, and he's like, what if this is a thing? I'm like,
Right.
Good. think a little bit outside of what this is all, because it is wild.
Now, I'm sorry, is that the end of the thought? Now check this out. You know the scene where, I don't remember which movie it was, where he meets the architect, and there's all those different versions of him, slightly different versions of him on these screens doing exactly the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Science actually says that that's the way it is. That just like if you put a mirror against a mirror, right? There's all these infinite images.
Inception.
I got to see that. I didn't see that. But anyway, there's all these infinite versions of you, and they're slightly different because the angle is slightly different, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, they say that that's actually the way the universe is. And right now there are, all these parallel yous doing this, but maybe slightly different. Maybe you got in a different lane on the way over here, and you got here 15 seconds later, so our conversation might have went somewhere totally different. Like I would have saw the knockout punch, and then maybe would have spurred something different,
Yeah, it's interesting because I just finished listening to the Ben Anderson podcast with Joe Rogan, and he's a war correspondent, and as he's starting to delve into his experiences as a photojournalist, in combat zones, he mentions, he's like, but this is also happening in different dimensions at different times. Like, okay,
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
And so
seeping into the collective consciousness,
and so I'm thinking about, like, who was it? I was all same conversation of The Matrix this morning was, what if these awful events, these really fucking foul events, like what happened in New Zealand, started what I remember in Columbine, because I was I was in school for that. Like what if that's part of like a program, some messed up part of the program, a virus, if you will,
a glitch in a program,
a glitch in
the Matrix,
something like, because it's awful. Like at this point, this is how desperate I am to find some reasoning and like make sense of this madness.
Right.
Because it's sad. Like, it's fucking really upsetting. And I think as a yoga practitioner, as a veteran, I've kind of been able to, like, see things from...
Yes.
So I'm like, man, how do I bring things into... Ooh, what you scratching down?
I'm taking down notes that I want to talk about. And I'm using this to be...
Environmentally conscious.
Cool, yeah. Like I could wipe it out and do it again, so I don't have to waste paper.
It's all fun and games till you get cut on that.
Right. Yeah. On this is flashing for roof flashing, but that's not what I use it for. I use it for a homemade capacitor, because if you put a little like insulator in between and you have like 1,000 of these, then you can like really get giant sparks, because it'll charge up from a little source of electricity that just gets a little spike, right? You could collect all those spikes and then
that's awesome.
Well, you know about generators and stuff, right?
Like automotive generators?
Okay, automotive we'll get into that. Yeah, I don't want to go on the down the Tesla turnpike yet.
We can go wherever you want. This is the show that we're just unscripted. We don't have a plan of attack.
Riffin.
We're riffing it, I guess.
Riffin. You never heard the expression riffin?
I thought it had to do with guitars. I don't know nothing about guitars.
It absolutely does. It means
I thought it was
you
guitar
just
riff.
Yeah, you're just jamming. Like this isn't. You're not recreating the solo to Stairway to Heaven note for note. You're just playing on top of the Stairway to Heaven. You know what I mean? You're just going, you're playing your own thing, but you're kind of making it up as you go. You're making it up as you go along.
I like it, because that's exactly what we're doing.
Yes, we're riffing just off the top of our head. But we were going, the two places I want to go was there and, okay. We were talking about the parallel universes. Okay? That's it. All right. We'll get back to NZ in a little bit, because I definitely want to hit that. All right?
No pun intended.
Yeah. So let's tie up this thing, though. That I was thinking about this today. science actually says that that's the way it is. That there are, like the Matrix movie, there are just mirrors and mirrors and mirrors of you kind of stretching out into infinity. All time, all space, it's all right here. All right? But the thing is, all possibilities, right, are all here. So I was sitting outside today and I was imagining this. I was imagining if you could actually see down the timeline, right? And there's infinite Raffs doing infinite things.
It's too many. It's too many Raffs. It's too many. It's a problem. It's already a problem. It's probable cause. The police are coming.
Right.
It's too many brown and bearded guys. And stuff.
But check this out. Yeah, and then there's a Raff over there without a beard. He just one day decided to shave. There's a Raff over there, right, with his
brazen.
You know. There's all possibilities of Raffs. Okay,
right.
And you can see as far in the future as you want. Okay, so there's a Raff in the future that is like super, whatever you want to be. You want to be super successful, whatever that means. Success to you might mean being the next, Buddha or something. I don't know, or it might mean being, king of the world. I don't know. I don't see it like that at all. No, who wants to be king?
I want to be low man on the totem pole all the time. That way, I can just not have people bust my chops about anything.
Yeah, it's too much responsibility.
Yeah, like people ask me, like, "Oh, when are you gonna open up a yoga studio?" I'm like, "I'm not, never, ever."
Right.
Period.
Right.
Point blank. Like, why would I want that? Like, my hat's off to the people that do it because it is tough. So.
Yeah. Well, any business.
In the military, I like being. Not that I didn't have much of a choice getting demoted, but it was okay with me because I liked having that perspective.
Yeah,
I like being the low man on the totem pole. I don't mind.
I dig that, and I definitely can relate to it because I've always felt that I've been pushed into the leadership position, like reluctantly or without
all
wanting
the time.
to be.
Yeah.
Just like you're leading the tribe, you're leading the class.
I'm holding space, but I'm learning with everyone along the way.
Right.
And I feel like that's important to let people know. Mm-hmm. Because if we don't do that, then all of a sudden there's like this power dynamic shift where like someone's a little higher than the other. I'm like, no, same.
Okay, so when I was kind of in that same position years ago, did I tell you the computer story? No? Okay. This I kind of like this story.
I'm a stoner. You can tell me a story a bunch of times. I'll be like, yes! First time hearing it again.
And I could have told you it a bunch of times and not realized I told you it, so it's right on the other side. All right, so years and years ago, 1998, right? Computers were a 486 with Windows 3.1, okay? But Windows 95... Yeah, okay, sorry, 98. So 95 was the big operating system if you weren't, if you didn't have the money to buy a Mac. Okay, so, but I had just gotten my first computer and I think I had Windows 3.1 on it, right? Which, if you don't know what that is, it's lame.
Computers, I don't know shit about computers.
Okay,
I'm a caveman. Like, honestly, I grew up around electronics, don't know shit about them.
Yeah. I can do this on... off.
Yes.
On, off. You know what? That's all computers are doing, actually. But they're doing it billions of times a second. That's all a computer is an on-off switch. It's a transistor, right? Do you know what you know transistors?
No.
Transistors is an electronic version of a light switch. That's all it is.
Okay. My roommate right now, he's like studying all this because he just got a promotion.
Yeah.
And he's like hitting me with all this stuff. I'm like, I love that you're enthusiastic. I don't know what you're saying though. It's
that electricity. It's an electronic version of saying electricity will flow. Electricity won't flow. It'll flow. It won't flow. All right.
Okay.
So the fact that they can do that electronically without actually having a mechanical switch, like what do you call it? My radio here from. Oh, by the way, 1951.
Very cool. Very awesome. Yes.
Right?
I think we talked about this.
Well, no, we did talk about it, but we didn't know
the year.
We didn't know
right.
the year, and
That's
I just looked up the year.
That's awesome. 1951.
That is a 1951 Telefunken.
But you were telling us about 98, Windows 98?
Okay, so
the year was 98.
I'm fascinated. All of a sudden, there's this new thing called computers, so I'm completely fascinated with it. And I didn't know what I want to be when I grew up. I still don't, right?
Oh, that happens, right? Okay, cool.
So, my girlfriend at the time said, "Why don't you go to school to learn computers?" You know, yeah, maybe I'll get like some kind of job in computers. Okay. So the theme right now, if anyone's trying to follow along, is the fact that you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you have tuned in, awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for all the awesome feedback.
The theme is that, or where we are right now in the story, is being thrown into a situation, being forced to be thrown in a leadership situation. Without reluctantly,
just reluctantly.
Okay, so I go to school to learn computers. Right now, I have sang for my supper my whole life. Right, that's all I ever did for a living was either teach singing or sing.
Okay,
right. So then I just get fascinated with computers in 1998. And I go to school to learn. It was like an adult education place, right? So I go to this school to learn about computers, and I'm in the class, and they're talking about this and hard drives and floppy disks, right, and all this stuff. And the teacher would try to explain something, and every time the class didn't understand something, I would just kind of turn around and say, "Guys, it's like this. You know, if you're driving down the road and there's 4 lanes and it goes into 2 lanes, everything kind of slows down. It's kind of like that, you know." And the teachers were like, "You know, you're really good at explaining this stuff." They go, "You ought to think about teaching." All right. So Forrest Gump goes, "Okay." Right?
You're smart enough not to re-enlist. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So next thing I'm not even done with the school, but now I'm a computer teacher. All right.
What the fuck?
Well, yeah. No, well, what happened was I said, you know, the teachers are telling me I should try to be a teacher here. As I'm talking to the staff or whatever, and they said, "Okay, you'll be a assistant teacher, and then we'll give you a class." Right. So I was assistant teacher for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden, I guess they needed teachers, right? Because computers are booming, so they're like, "We just got to get people. You go there. You're the teacher." You know. So they threw me into these classes, right? Now the thing is, I'm nervous as hell, right?
Oh, me too, bro.
I'm supposed to be teaching this thing that, like,
confidently,
literally rocket scientists, right? These
together.
hardcore scientists built these incredible magical machines, and I'm supposed to be one of those guys, or at least
be able
appear
to
like that, right?
reverse engineer these fucking things.
So I'm in this. So I'd walk in this class, and I'm nervous with all these, you know, people. So what I did as a little mental game, right? I would imagine this before I walked into the classroom. I would say, I'm not walking into a classroom. I'm walking into a party. Like my friend Pete used to have these big New Year's Eve parties in his apartment, right?
Okay.
And it's like you walk in the door and you know everybody, you love everybody loves you. You walk in, they're like, "Jimmy!" I'm like, "Everybody!" You know, and it's just what's going on? There's hugs, and it's like, it's all great. It's just a love fest, right? I didn't say anything about that. I just had that in my mind, right? And I just walked in the classroom with that imagination in my head, and be like within a very, very short period of time, couple of days, maybe a week or two, all of a sudden, I'm like this rock star teacher. That's funny. Right? Where people walking down the hall, they're like, "Mr. Shaka!" You know, I'm like, "Student! What's going on?"
You!
And so, yeah, I just kind of put that out there. That's how I dealt with the stress of being, you know, putting this reluctantly becoming a leader, right, in that position. Oh, there's a funny little side story, right? Because I was still singing at the time. So, I teach a class or whatever, and then a friend of mine said, "Hey, our singer can't make the show tonight. It was Friday night. Can't make the show tonight at, I think it was like Patty McGee's. You remember Patty McGee's?
Was that out east?
That was like Island Park or like Long Beach. Like
it was a club, right?
It was a club, right? They
used to have
on
a
the
teen
water.
night.
I don't know.
I think I went there when I was like 15.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, and I got kicked out. It was the first club I ever went to, and I got kicked out of it.
Okay, probably. It was a big club, but anyway, it was like this summertime thing with like a deck and the boats all docked there, and it was packed in a party and stuff. And I'm at the time.
I do remember this place.
I think I'm maybe 28, right? So I'm young and I'm singing with these bands, right? With this band, and I'm having cocktails and it's just a big party. And I have this wireless microphone and we're singing like rock and dance and like high energy stuff, right? So like halfway through the night, I'm actually on the bar with the mic in my head, just singing with everybody, like getting everybody singing, right? And then this guy's sitting at the bar and he goes, "Mr. Shaka?" He was like one of my computer students.
Great.
Is that hysterical?
That's so good. Do you ever watch?
And I was like, yes. Why? No, I was actually like, because by that point, everybody
kind of
knew me as like a fun. Like I said, I became like this rock star teacher. Not that I was the smartest teacher.
Right.
I just would do this. I would say. As long as I can stay one class ahead of everybody, like I would study the shit out of the next day's class, right? Just so I would try to learn everything I could about that, and I wouldn't bullshit, right? Which I think made everybody trust me. I would like they ask me a question. I said, "That's a great question." I go, "Let me write that down. I'll get back to you tomorrow," and I would. I always.
I think it's important transparency of, especially if you don't know something, because that shows people that, hey, at least this person's willing to learn still. Because person's like, I'll get back to you.
I really feel like everybody has a built-in truth detector. It's like right here. Or here. Your gut.
Or here, you smell it. No,
That's a bullshit detector.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
different thing.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone has a truth detector. That's why don't bullshit.
Or don't bullshit a bullshitter.
Don't bullshit a bullshitter. Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny. You ever watch Parks and Recreation?
Cartoon?
No, it's like a sitcom kind of deal.
Okay.
And one of the guys, he's super funny, but his character is like this uber alpha male, but he's like the boss of everything.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be very dignified still, carries himself still professional, but very dry and sarcastic too. And he's got this nightlife, this double life he has. He plays saxophone. He's plays blues at his bar. And he's on stage all the time. And he's having
almost like Squidward on the SpongeBob.
Yeah, but he was good.
Okay,
he's
okay.
actually good. He's
Okay.
actually really good. Duke Silver, something like that, is the alias that he has. And that's the whole thing. And when somebody sees him from the office, he's like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?"
Right.
Oh, you're not supposed to know me. Here.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I think you'd appreciate that. I'll find you that episode. We're still working on hiring a Googler.
Yes.
Hey, Jamie. So if anyone out there seems to be interested in getting a position here on the show,
For free, of course,
yes, for free,
because we're low budget.
You get paid in our presence.
But we are going. I do want to. I don't want advertisers. All right, and I mean, we got everyone's got to eat. We've already established that. I tell you what,
I eat.
We're going to sell Hollywood. We're going to sell Hollywood. You can get it anywhere, but if you get it from us, you support the show. All right.
We don't actually have any in stock currently.
Yeah,
We're just talking about the future, probably.
No, we'll get it. Listen,
it's not that easy to source this shit. I don't think.
I have a friend that I sometimes do odd jobs with, right? And he works. Well, I'm going to say where he works, but he works like at this place it's a big company, right? With all machines and all this kind of stuff, all different.
Is it
crazy
industrial
stuff.
or some shit?
Industrial thing, yeah. But he just went in as a guy fixing radios.
Okay. Is this your foot?
No.
Okay, cool.
He went in as a guy fixing radios, and then they said, "Hey, can you install like flat screen TVs?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "Yep." You know, "Hey, can you build us shelves? We need some shelves over there." He's like, "Yep." Can you, like, no matter what they ask him, and he didn't know how to do any of this stuff, right?
I like him. I like him.
No
already.
matter what they ask him, he would just say, "Yep." I go, "Listen, we got to get business cards. This is my card."
Yep.
Here's my card. Yep. And that's it. Just so. Anyway, you were saying that we don't have Hollywood or Hollywood, but we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
I like it. That's pretty much it. Like, one of my cousins said, like, I'm gonna listen to your podcast all day. Listen, I don't know what I'm doing. It's all unscripted, but I'm having fun, and I think that's the most important thing about it. Because honestly, like, just shooting the shit with you, even if the mics weren't here, I think we'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd probably be in a real bar.
Yeah, I think this is actually better. It keeps me a little more tamed.
Yes.
Now I know there's most definitely evidence of my behavior now. So,
all right. We're pros now. We have like a whole show under our belt.
That's right. So. I've done this all of 2 hours already, so I'm a professional.
All right.
So I want to know what else are you writing? What else you got?
Over here?
Yeah, POS position. Okay.
No.
Know. That's what I'm thinking.
Possible falafel. No, possible future. Ooh. This is what we were talking about before. Okay, so I don't know if I should bother like editing this for sequential, like so it makes sense, or just keep it loose and like this. Yeah, no. It's almost like if you want to get the entire.
This is Quentin Tarantino-ing.
Right now?
This is just like Quentin Tarantino movies. Like, you get bits and pieces of the future, the middle, the backstory, throughout
like
the whole fucking thing. It's a shit show, and then it's a bloodbath.
Okay. Yeah, so you know what? And that's good because it'll keep them tuned in, because you got to like stay to the end, hoping that they remember what they were talking about. And get back to it.
If I've inspired anybody to listen to this, I'm sure they're going to be in a similar condition that we're in. So, yeah.
Nice.
You know. And even if you're not, like, it's fine. Like, I don't judge. And that's a really important thing. I want people to really know also, like, all nonsense aside, like, come as you are, whether it's yoga, whether it's to this podcast, whether it's anywhere, like, be who you are. Mm-hmm. Have your own experience, because at no point will I ever like tell you the way I have done it to this point is the right way, because I don't know what I'm really doing. But
listen, the world took 6 billion years to make you. Don't be someone else.
Well, exactly. But now that's a powerful thing, but also just kind of be okay with like other things. Like, I don't know. One of my buddies is deployed right now. Somewhere in a shithole. I'm not going to say where. And he sent me this song, and it's by Logic, and it's, you know, it talks about, it's a song that says everybody dies. It's titled. But at one point, at like 2 minutes and something odd seconds in the song, he says, and don't go killing people over their beliefs. Like, yeah. And I'm like, word.
Yeah.
Because I think that's powerful. Be a sentiment in this day and age, where everything wants to get divided. Everyone wants to choose a side.
Yeah. I know.
Like, we want to be polarized. Why?
We do live in a world of duality.
Yes.
we live in a world of unity, of duality, of 3 dimensions, of 4 dimensions, and it goes on 5, 6, 7. Like I also refer that to like the chakras again, right? That we have awareness of a oneness, which is kind of the first chakra thing,
Right.
Right. We have awareness of me and you. That's the second chakra, right? Relationship. And then the third chakra is about power, which kind of has to do with one person dealing with others, right? It's funny. There was some philosophy or something I read a long time ago that said it might be the Tao Te Ching, Tao, right? The Tao. You never read it?
Come on, man. I'm a caveman. I can do
Listen.
Audible. Is it on Audible? I'll listen to it.
Put it on. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it in a half-hour ride. It's such a
Really?
short book.
All right.
Listen.
I need to get it. Where's my flashing? I want to write shit down.
Okay, I'm gonna
No,
get you some
not
flash.
right now. Not right now.
But here, I'll send you a text.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be now. Whenever. But like Tao. I don't even know what you said, to be honest.
Tao.
Tao.
Tao Te Te Ching, Ching. It's a great book, and you're gonna love it because it also talks about. It doesn't talk politics, but it says it's all little short phrases. Okay, like one of the passages is, governing a large country is like frying a small fish. You spoil it with too much poking. Like, have you ever fried a fish? Like, and no. Well, if you fry a fish, like if you start messing with it, it just breaks apart. And now you got like
Pieces of
tuna fish. You know what I mean? Like it's just like all over the place, right? Anyway, so I can imagine this is like thousands of years old. So thousands of years old, that was a common thing that everybody did: fried a fish, right? So, but that's all it is. It's just a bunch of passages that are small like that. And it's chock full of wisdom. It's great when you're mentally elevated. All right.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Well, yeah, I got to send this to Raff. Hold on a second.
Yeah, with the condition that we're carrying, like, honestly.
Tao. I can't stand autocorrect.
Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it.
Apple is actually kind of evil. Yeah, that's it. Tao Te Ching. Actually, I don't know if I should salute because I'm not in that circle of yours.
You didn't salute. I didn't catch you in a salute. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
I feel so fat. I haven't been to the gym in like 5 days, which for me is like a lot. I don't work out a lot, but I do it every day, if that makes any sense. I mean, I hardly exercise,
right?
But I do it every day.
Gotcha.
Right? I go to the gym and I lightly work out, but
there's a shirt that says "fucking is my cardio." I was thinking about getting that, but it's inappropriate. I can't.
Okay, I'm low on cardio these days too. I add that to the list. Need more cardio.
That's fucking great. Oh man. You were talking. This whole started because you wanted to not have advertisers or some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but what if they offer us a lot of money?
I don't want to be beholden to them.
Because then what? We have to not do. We're not allowed to do certain things.
Whoever pays the piper calls the tune, right?
Yeah,
Listen,
but if
I
you're
hired
paid,
you to sing here.
you
Sing
hired
some
me
Tony
because you
Bennett.
listen to this.
I want to hear Tony Bennett. I don't sing Tony Bennett.
Yeah, but if they listen to this and they pay us
You
over
do it
this,
now.
this is it.
What's that?
I mean, if you listen to this and you give us
Right.
money for this, I mean, by all means, your attention is very valuable to us. But this is just also having fun. So ultimately, like, if they did offer us money and be like, listen, this is what you're getting. Just for the record, this is the deal. We're already making business
All right.
plans.
You know what? No, I have faith in humanity. And the humanity...
God.
I do. Listen.
I had to put the beer down for that one. Oh,
I do. I have faith in human beings, all right? It's just a handful of douchebags.
Good cop, bad cop.
It's mostly good cops, all right? There's a handful of douchebags.
No, I'm saying we're playing the good cop, bad cop right now.
Okay. That keep fucking shit up.
I agree.
Generally, humanity gets along, right? It's like if you leave a room full of kids, they don't care what color you are, what your boy, girl, what they don't care anything, right? Just, hey, you want to play? Okay, let's play, and they have fun, all right? Every once in a while, you have some bully that comes into the room and starts fucking shit up. But there's usually, like, everyone's got a story of one bully. You don't have a story of half my school was bullies. No one's ever had a story like that, right? I've never heard of that. I don't know. So I'm really thinking of, like, politics and stuff. Like, I really think for the most part people are good and people get along and everyone kind of wants the same. Like, I just want to get through this world, and you know, everybody wants to be happy and whatever. But there are a few people that are like, you know, I want to rule the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, money makes people do weird things, though. Like, I think that, and I think we mentioned it last time, like, money is, we need money. Like, money is good. Like, money is nice to have, like, to have things, and, like, I'm not a hippie where, like, renounce your property and don't own anything. For a while, I felt that way.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, what is any of this anyway? But
I know.
Ultimately, pursue your things that make you happy. Does it break anyone's bones? No? Good.
That's it.
Does it steal from someone? No? Good.
Yeah.
Everything is irrelevant. Now, as far as bullying and politics goes along, like, we've been fed this crock of shit, like, and I don't know, somebody said this, I'm sure someone, like, has this quote, but I'm going to butcher it up anyway. Like, you have to, if you love someone, you have to agree with them, and if you disagree with somebody, you hate them. It's like, no.
I know who said that.
Who?
An idiot.
Well, but that's what most people feel that way. Like,
I take that back.
If you disagree with me, oh my God, how could you, Jimmy? Don't disagree with me. You're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to appreciate everything I say. No.
Hold on a second.
Go.
Remember before when we were talking about all the mirrors, right, and the Matrix and all that, and you go, whoa, way too many Raffs, right? Way too many Raffs. If everybody agreed with you, it would be a world full of Raffs, and it would be boring as fuck.
It'd be awful.
Because there would be no contrast whatsoever, right? Contrast. That's duality, right? This is all tying in now. This is very interesting. Because we do live in a world of duality. Like, without contrast, everything you see right now would just be either totally white or totally black, right? You need some kind of contrast.
Excuse me.
In order to actually have a world.
I agree. I agree.
If you're writing in white ink on white paper, you can't really draw very much, you know? Or black ink on black paper.
Black on black hang.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So within a relationship, great analogy. And I don't know, I think this was, who was the guy? Was it Buddha? That was this rich kid that, you should know this, right? Was it?
I'm not a Buddhist?
No, you told a different story.
Yeah, as another teenager.
Yeah.
But no, so he was a rich teenager and he renounced his ownership of and then he ended up like trying to see what the world was like.
And there's a story in there, right? Where he's sitting under his tree in front of a river, and there's two guys on a boat, and one guy has like a lute, which is like an old-fashioned guitar kind of.
Give it a lute.
Right, lute. And he says the string must be, he goes, there must be, how did it go? There must be a certain amount of tension on the string. Too much tension, right? Or if you keep too much tension and the string breaks. Not enough tension, and there is no music. Not enough tension, and there is no music.
In yoga, in Sanskrit, it's sthira
Too
and
much.
sukha, effort and ease. The balance between the work and the ease, and that's how most of our life should be, because the mat is just a representation of your life.
Right.
So when I'm on the mat and I get frustrated, pissed off at something, that's how I react outside of the mat.
Yeah.
So when I get to the mat and I say, okay, let me just kind of be with this. I might not be great with it, but let me work a little bit. It might not look perfect, but I'm putting forth the effort rather than, I gotta get this, and knocking out 50 chaturangas, push-ups, and X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Balance.
Yes.
Effort and ease. That tension and the slack.
Yes.
Too tight, too high, too low, nothing. So sthira and sukha is the terms in Sanskrit.
This is fucking great. Let me tell you. And this is something I think you'll appreciate. My dad, he was a Marine, a sergeant in the Marines, okay?
That must have been a fun upbringing. That must have been fucking great. No offense.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, yeah. I mean, why do you think I became like a granola munching hippie, right? Because there was this difference.
I want a cannoli.
Oh, absolutely.
A cannoli.
Leave the gun, take the cannolis.
I'm bringing the gun and the cannoli, and I'm stuck.
Okay, so good stuff, right?
Too good.
Rockville Center. There's a
Front Street Bakery.
yes.
This is right by the
been
train
around-
tracks.
Yes.
Dude, their fucking red velvet cakes out of control.
And it's been there for like forever, that place.
Front Street Bakery since 1946.
There you go. They advertise with us. Let me have a sip of my urine specimen right now.
That looks something. That's Monster. I noticed.
Yeah.
Little random factoid. I have a monster tattoo.
Plus.
I have a monster tattoo.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think no wait. Did I ever see it or okay?
That's a tramp stamp. No.
Okay.
That's on my lower back next to the dolphins. No.
Yeah.
I have a tattoo on my leg
Yeah.
with an AK, and it's got a monster logo on the buttstock.
Okay.
So
Monster. Well, you were telling me you used to be jacked up on
I
that
used to
like
drink
24/7.
4 a day.
Yeah.
I can't even smell the shit no more. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I used to love Monster.
Right. See, that's the problem with tattoos. the sentence that starts with "I used to."
No, you know what it was? It served its purpose, and I think this is also
Well, there you
valuable.
go.
I think it's valuable because this is part of where I'm at my practice. Where
Right.
there's so many cool Instagram pages I follow,
Okay.
and some of them is just funny. Some of them is really good stuff, and one of them. I want to put after at the end of the show. I want to put a bunch of pages on there.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah. In the links below.
In the links below. Please like and subscribe. So it says something along the line. Again, I butcher quotes. My brain doesn't work like other people's. I wish I was like Rain Man, where I could remember I can't. I'm a mess. But certain things that we use to survive to this point
Yeah.
are no longer, that might not be applicable anymore.
True.
Certain survival things.
Right. Like.
Excuse me.
Like there's not a lot of place for emotions in modern society, like traffic. You know what I mean?
Elaborate.
Meaning going behind the wheel does absolutely nothing. Or like my daughter says, I'm driving and I'm like, move! And she's like, he can't hear you, Dad. Just very matter-of-factly, he can't hear you, Dad. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Or going like this, where like I said, I hate my emotions for Apple phones. Okay, anyway, so you were saying something about
So Monster, I drink 4 of them a day.
right.
And you say like, oh, tattoos, oh, this is the problem with tattoos. Like, but the thing is,
You see that, or
it's not a problem for me.
yeah,
It's not like I say, I used to love Monsters.
right. Apparently,
Like, we used to go to Kandahar Airfield, resupply, and go back to our Cobb.
yeah,
And the fucking first thing we do is go to the PX, the Post Exchange store,
yeah,
get cigarettes, chewing tobacco, energy drinks.
right.
And I'm not talking about just get like a bag. We'd have hand trucks. We would go, load up,
Right.
and have our own stash.
Right. Right.
And this shit is like currency. This was currency. And, I gotta say, like, my support network through my deployment was beyond generous. I never had a want nor a need because of how generous people were. And I want to say, like, thank you to, like, my best friend's parents, because the Lynx, like, loved the fuck out of me and they supported me. And between them and my family giving me care packages, I was just giving care packages away. And
yeah.
I was getting hooked up with fucking... My parents would send me Monster, like, in the fucking mail.
Right.
And
right.
it was just... But I needed it. Like, I was pulling... 15-hour days, sometimes 20 full days, 2 days of no sleep.
Yeah.
You get shut eye here and there, like 35 minutes, 45 minutes, but...
Of course you couldn't sleep a whole night. You were jacked up on Monster. Tonight's show brought to you by Monster.
It is not brought to us by Monster. Actually, that's...
Not a bad idea.
Actually, no, it's actually relatively true.
Yes.
Because I don't know if I would have made it here
Right.
without Monster. Michael Walt... fuck, I'm going to fuck this up. I think I met Michael Waltrip. He used to be an announcer for NASCAR.
Okay.
And in Florida, I went to Florida in December. I was invited by one of my buddies I met through social media, Dan Evans.
Okay.
Guy's a fucking hero. You want to talk about like real deal G gangster shit? Like Dan Evans. And he's a yoga instructor. Like, it's awesome. Like a veteran yoga instructor. He used to be special forces. Like, all around Billy Badass guy. Unfortunately, like, he had hit his vehicle hit an IED and he lost his legs. Oh, fuck. And I was after that he became a yoga instructor.
Wow.
Yeah. So he invited me down to Florida. And we go down there, and they take us to TPC Sawgrass, the Players Club, where like one of the most famous places to play golf.
Okay.
You see how much I know about golf that I'm doing this. I don't know shit about
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, I know nothing about golf. So they saw fit, and he saw fit to invite me to this. Which thanks, Dan, if you're watching this, and Lululemon and all the other awesome people that put it together. At the end of the day, we had been for 2 days on this expensive golf rink, golf green.
That would be skating.
What the fuck do you call a place where you go golfing?
Course.
Thank you. So we were on this golf course for 2 days.
Golf rink. We were skating on the golf rink.
And so sure enough, I see some guy walk out of the main area.
Yeah.
And he's got a Monster hat.
Okay.
And now, mind you, like, I know nothing about golf except for, like, there was drinking to be had. And so, at that point, I'm a few beers deep.
Yeah.
It was at the end of the day. I see a guy with a Monster hat. I'm like, it's an interesting hat to have here, out of all places. Everyone's wearing polos and really nice fit.
Right.
Yo! I scream. Got turned around. I like your hat. Thanks, man, he says. I got that tattooed on my leg. I don't know why I said that, because I'm so smooth and not weird in public.
Right.
This is why I don't go out in public.
Right.
He says, what? I got that Monster tattoo on my leg. So he comes over and
It's like the long-haired, bearded guy.
yeah, and it's like and he walks over with his little entourage, and he says, "Let me see." So I pull out my pant leg, and he's like, "Oh, that's awesome." He takes a picture. He says, "Do you mind if I put it on my Instagram?" I says,
Sick.
"I don't give a shit. Yeah, go ahead." He says, "Who are you?" He says, "Oh, I'm Michael fuck, I hope it's Michael.
Michael
Waltrip.
Bolton.
No, I think he's Michael Waltrip. I'm pretty sure it's Michael Waltrip. Anyways, he used to like announce for NASCAR.
Okay.
But a bunch of dudes started like losing their shit over him. Michael,
Right.
I'm gonna be my own Jamie Waltrip.
That's it.
Here.
Everyone is Jamie in the Matrix.
Yeah, this is it. So I meet this guy,
Cool.
and
I'm pretty much
He had a-
NASCAR illiterate.
so
illiterate, so you
same
gotta-
thing. So it's computer shit.
But I do have a really good friend in Florida that's like keeps me up to date.
Now hold on. Now here's the kicker: Waltrip brothers.
Hollywood.
So it's Daryl. So is Michael Waltrip and Daryl Waltrip.
Okay.
And so one of the guys that was golfing with us, one of the Wounded Warriors, because it was part of the Wounded Warrior Project,
Yeah.
he fucking says, "Daryl, I love everything, all your races, blah, 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 blah." He says, "That's my brother. I'm Michael." Mind you, I was just drunk and I had no idea who this guy was.
Right.
But these guys were losing their shit over him. And I'm like,
Right.
"Are you somebody
Right.
I should know?"
Right.
And
right.
I says, "Yo, listen, since you're tagging me on fucking Instagram, can you add me?"
Yeah.
And he added me, and I told my
That's
friends.
awesome.
And he's like, "Dude, do you know who that is?" I'm like, "No, I have no idea who that is." The guys were like, "Dude, that guy announced for NASCAR. He used to race NASCAR." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
I always feel a little. I don't get starstruck. I don't think I've ever been starstruck. I've been like, if I meet somebody I really appreciate, like when I used to work at Sirius, if I would meet someone I really appreciated, I would be like, "Whoa, like I love you, like wow, this is
That's
this is
starstruck,
so
no?
cool."
That's not starstruck?
No, starstruck is like, "Oh my god, oh," like yeah,
Screaming.
like but generally I would meet people, I would just be I'd be like, I want to treat you as normal as possible because I know every day, because I've been in that situation. Not for me, I was the guy on the side, you know, doing shows with Brewer and all this stuff, where you know, people are like, "Oh my god," you know, it's like, "Oh, I'm just a fan," and it's like, but when you get like to the big level, right? Like we hung out with like James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, right from Metallica. These guys, and they're like, you know, when you get to that level, it's like the guy can't get a fucking cup of coffee. You know, like you take for granted you could go to a 7-Eleven. You know what I mean?
Depends on the ones that I'm allowed back into.
Okay. You might be a special case.
Very special case.
But you okay, never mind. I was going to say something about with your look, they probably say, "Well, you know, what are you doing not working?"
Ah, that's racist. I'm triggered. That's gonna get edited. No. So no,
Okay,
actually, no,
cut.
I was
Take
writing.
two.
I was writing this like not starstruck because okay, maybe it's not starstruck for people. I was starstruck for like one Maxim model I worked security for, but for like football, I don't know shit about sports.
Okay.
I don't know besides NASCAR, Michael Waltrip. That's all of it. Dale Earnhardt, I think he's dead.
Dale Earnhardt, yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know anything about sports, and as I used to work security.
Okay.
And one of the places I used to work at is shut down now, so I think I can say the name is Mirage.
Okay.
And do you remember that place in Westbury, Mirage, by Eisenhower
Yes.
Park?
Yes, I do. Pretty big place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So regularly, I don't know if it was the Jets or the Giants that trained at Hofstra, but they would train there, and then like afterwards, they would all like go party at Mirage.
Okay.
When I started working at the bathroom in the back. Mm-hmm. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you start. Yeah.
That's where you start. You
Right.
start in the shitty ass bathroom.
Right.
And you handle shit, essentially.
Right.
And one day they're like, Raff, we need somebody at the front. We're short staffed. Can you? And it was like early on a Friday. No, Friday or Saturday, one of the two.
Okay.
So I say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And there's a line. Like, it's Mirage. Like, it was bumping at the time. And next thing you know, up come a bunch of dudes. And I'm like, yo, back in line. And they start laughing. I'm like,
You don't know who we are.
yeah. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't know what the hell is funny. Back of the line.
Right.
And some guy comes out from the back of the little shindig or the little party.
Yeah.
He says, whoa, what's going on? Where's the regular guy? He says, I don't know. But there's a line.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I feel a hand on my shoulder. It's the supervisor. He's like, Raff, go back to the bathroom. Go back. It was like the entire Jets team.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I was like, I don't know any of you people. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't know.
Right.
James Gandolfini, I worked security for him all of like 10 minutes.
Right.
And I just stood there like, in the VIP area, just awkwardly. Security was a weird thing. It's like, you didn't have shit to do
Yeah.
until you had a lot of things to do.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
You had nothing to do till you had.
And then all of a sudden,
you had to do everything.
yeah, then all of a sudden you became like a marriage counselor, or separating a melee. So I just stood there and I thought it was cool. Like the whole cast of Sopranos was there. I never watched the show, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. Like, I'm just hanging out.
Right.
And he says to me, he just touches my elbow and says, listen, can you go fuck off somewhere? I'm like,
Who said that?
James Gandolfini says, you just go fuck off somewhere. Like, don't stand in this area too close to us. I'm like, oh.
Right.
I'm like, whatever, I'm out of here anyway. Like, and for me,
That's
like,
not cool.
I never really got, again, like, starstruck was not a thing for me. Like, ultimately, it was really come down to, like, oh, you're pretty cool. Except for one.
What?
You remember Maxim magazine?
Yes.
There was a model.
Okay, now is that starstruck or is that like?
It was that. And so
Right.
like they're like, listen, Vita Guerra is gonna be at this event, and I'm like Vita Guerra, and they're like, yeah, like FHM and Maxim model. I'm like,
Wow.
the Vita Guerra I have like a picture on my wall of,
Right,
like,
right.
There's a bunch of like, because I had like Maxim posters and
See,
shit.
that's awesome though. How awesome is that? You got to actually meet her.
What?
Yeah.
And so then I had to escort her from like the limo
Who's better than you?
to the fucking stage. I'm like, this is the thing I told him. I was like, dude, I love it. And he's like, all right,
Yeah.
I got you, bro, but just don't act stupid. And he's like,
Yeah.
don't act stupid. And
Yeah.
like, all right, Scout's honor, like, I promise,
Right.
I'm gonna behave myself. And I was on my best behavior. But I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is happening, Raff.
See, when I've met people that I really liked, I never had that. I don't know. I never had that. Oh my God factor or whatever. I just thought like, wow, how cool! Like this is
Neat.
Yeah, like wow. Walking through Sirius when I work, like I'd walk. It was a glass studio. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it was this like glass studio with all these studios behind glass, right? And you're walking down the hallway, and like I look on over here, and I'm like, "There's Robert Plant," and then like that's Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? These are like true stories, right?
That's awesome.
And the best was my friend Larry, right? One time we were on air, we're in the middle of a story, right? And we're in a glass cubicle too, right? So someone walks down the hall, and all of a sudden he breaks in, dude, Greg Brady just walked by.
What the fuck? Why?
It was that Barry, whatever his name was, that played Greg Brady from the Brady Bunch.
That's funny.
Right? But, and of course we use that soundbite like for the rest of our life there. Dude, Greg Brady just walked by. It just kept playing it over.
That's awesome. When do we get sound bites?
Eventually.
Okay,
When
cool.
we get a Jamie. Yeah.
Hurry up, please.
Anyway.
Universe, give us our Jamie.
It'll happen. So, okay. Here's a story.
Of a man named Brady. No,
Yeah. I love all different kind of music, right? I love the Indigo Girls. Not that I'm bragging.
Did you ever watch Hot Tub Time Machine?
I've heard of it. People have told me to watch it because I'm
you
into
are, you are missing out. But there's a part where I want to make fun of the movie that makes fun of this kid in the movie because it's funny.
Yeah.
But only because I'm also the thing they're making fun of.
Right.
But it's not as funny as if unless you fucking watch it. So
Okay, I'll watch it. I'll watch it for the next episode.
And then that way
that's
I
my
can actually-
homework.
Yes.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine. Here we go.
Write it down. Yeah. I'll put it on my side of the flashing.
That's fucking great.
Machine. So anyway, so I meet the Indigo Girls, right? And I don't care what you say. I don't care what their crowd is. I'm not their demographic, right? By any stretch. So I'm in the hall at Sirius.
You need a refill?
In a second. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. So
Bartender?
yeah, that's what we also need, a bartender. So I'm in the hall at Sirius, and I'm just, I don't know, walking to the bathroom or something, and all of a sudden there's the Indigo Girls, right? And I'm like
Pumped.
I'm like, oh my God, it's the Indigo Girls. I love you guys. I'm like, Amy, Emily, right? But the funny thing is they look at me like, really? Like, really?
This is how you're gonna act.
No, that I was a fan. I'm like, I love you guys.
They thought that you were being sarcastic?
Yeah, because their crowd is all women, right? And it's like I said, I'm totally not their demographic, you know. But I was just like, oh, I love you guys, but it was like the most unexpected reaction. They're like, just were like, really?
Are you fucking with us?
No, like, are you fucking like it was a joke, like they were making fun of me for liking them.
That's funny.
You know? And anyway, that was one reaction that I thought was funny, meeting a celebrity. The other celebrity that I met one long time ago, I grew up listening to my favorite band was the band Kansas, right? Carry on my wayward son, Point of No Return, all these. How long, right? Dust in the Wind, which a friend of mine has on his arm. Great. Listening to Steve Walsh sing was just like that's what I want to try to do when I grow up. And I've actually done on acoustic guitar. I've done Point of No Return. You know, how long to the point of no return. You know the song, right? You would know it if you heard it. Anyway, I hope so.
I'm sure it would.
But anyway, this is a band that I loved. I didn't care if anyone else in the world loved them. I loved them.
You love
right?
what you love.
Right. And one day I was on a cruise ship, and I see they had this violinist in the band. You couldn't miss the guy, right? Robbie Steinhardt. He was probably about 6'4", hair down to here, beard down to here, right? Just this like monster of a guy, but he would play this little, violin, like this giant, right? But he was Dust in the Wind, right? That violin solo, right? Anyway, I'm on a cruise ship and I'm like Robbie Steinhardt, And he's like, oh, yeah, thanks for, recognizing me or whatever. Because by this point, nobody knew who he was or whatever. The cool thing was, I was singing on this cruise ship, right? And he said, oh, yeah, you were singing last night in the lounge, right? Rock star that I am. Like, yeah. He goes, yeah, unfortunately, you were playing like my least favorite song in the world when I walked in, so I walked out. I was playing like, I don't know, some Billy Idol song or something that he was like...
not a fan of.
Not a fan of, and he walked out. Yeah, that really sucks. But anyway, I met him, and I wound up talking to him till like 4 o'clock in the morning. He just was like so into it, and I thought that was like so gracious of him, and that he really enjoyed hanging out and bullshitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was because when I was a kid, all right. Not when you were a kid. When I was a kid, we had records. All right, records.
I saw records when I was a kid too, dog. We were recording them, stop. We were good. We were comfortable.
Records. They were this big, not CDs. Okay, that was step 2. All right, record. No, actually, cassettes were step 2. Right.
You're skipping 8-tracks.
CDs. Okay, 8-tracks were. That was. I barely remember 8-tracks. Like 8-tracks were like, yeah, they were around when I was a kid, but they weren't. I don't know.
Records were 8-tracks to me.
Yeah,
yeah, when I was coming up.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were in the house.
Yeah.
But I just like, all right, this is because my parents listen to this.
Right. Although they're coming back now.
Yeah, thanks, hipsters.
Yeah, no, I think it's so cool. My daughter, 2 years ago, she was about 14, right? Yeah. What do you want for Christmas? She goes, you know what I want? A record player.
You must have been like,
that's the cool. You are the coolest kid ever. Like, I thought that was so awesome, right? And I still have my like a milk carton crate full of records from when I was a kid. Like the first record I ever bought, which was the Monkees, right? And then the second one was a Beach Boys one, and the third one was a Beatles. Okay, so
is that what inspired you to sing?
There was always singing in the house, right? Like singing was just something you did. I have this vision of taking like my sister's brush and putting on like the Beatles and singing a Paul McCartney song, like Into the Mirror, like as a kid. And but I think I would say when I was a kid, I wanted to be the Monkees when I grew up. Right, I don't know if you ever saw the Monkees TV show, but it's very retro, but it's also it's so dated. It's like lovable to watch. It's just lovable because it's so 60s and I caught the reruns because I was a kid in the 70s, right? But where were we in the story? So. Records. So my daughter wanted a record player, right? And I thought that was so cool. So I bought her a record player for Christmas, and a couple of records that I knew she would like The Killers. She loves The Killers, and Green Day. She loves Green Day. Yeah, good stuff. And I said, but you have to have Sgt. Pepper's, right, from the Beatles. I go, if you have a record player, if you have a record collection, you have to have Sgt. Pepper's, right? And then she's like, do you have any like Tony Bennett or like Frank Sinatra? I was like, yes, I do. That's my girl. I got a funny story.
Proud moment.
Quick funny story about that, right? She was about 4 years old, and I still sing in a wedding band. Right, I'm Adam Sandler.
The wedding singer.
I'm the wedding singer. Adam Sandler on the weekends, right? If I don't have a better gig or whatever. Well, I do X amount of shows a year. But anyway, so we would do maybe once a month. We would go into Manhattan and do a showcase, which was just like a 20-minute show that we would put on in this like small rehearsal space / stage audience little room,
Okay.
right? And it's for clients, people that want to try to book us. So we would do a show, and hopefully they'd book us. And I used to bring her in, right? And she probably went for the hot chocolate we would get in the city, more than anything else. But she would come in and hang out.
Whatever it takes to get them in.
Right. So she would come into the city and hang out. And one day the saxophone player said, "What kind of music do you like?" to my daughter. And he thought she was going to say like Katy Perry or
whatever the contemporary music
whatever
is.
the contemporary music was, right? And she goes, "I like Tony Bennett." And I was like, "Yeah." Because I guess that's what she heard, because I love my dad. My dad went to Tony Bennett's first concert ever.
That's awesome.
Which was in Brooklyn, opening up for some, I don't know, I forget the band he was opening up, but he was just the opening act at some little place in Brooklyn, some small theater, and it was his first concert ever. My dad was there, and I just got a chance to see him last year at Westbury.
No shit.
And he's like in his 80s now, and it's like my dad's.
Does he still put on a good show though?
Oh,
that's awesome.
He's another guy. Remember I told a story about kind of walking in and filling the room with love, right? Like when I was a computer teacher, like I did that to get over my nerves or whatever. He does that that's if you ever see Tony Bennett, just pull up Tony Bennett, right? And he just walks on stage and he's just like, I just love you all. Like that's he just awesome. Has this, he just has this thing where he's just looking like, I love you so much.
I want to get to the point where I can express that and not look like I'm terrified in front of a crowd.
Just feel it.
I don't know. I mean, I feel it, but then I also feel nervous and sweaty palms, and
like when you're teaching or whatever.
Or anytime in front of crowds.
All right. Well,
I still perform.
Yeah. No.
But
Well, you just you do it. That's there. Okay. That's there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My heart's beating. Yeah. That's
I kind of feel I can't. It's akin to like being on mission. Like.
Yes, of course.
I'm scared.
Yeah, that's there. And we got a mission.
But we still have to do this. This is the task at hand.
Right.
Yes, you are scared. Yes, you are nervous. Blah, 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 blah. All these other variables.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. You still have to do it. I'm like,
right.
And that's kind of how I was like, but I want to be able to show up and be like, yo, what up, folks?
Right.
Like, I want to have that, but I'm like, it doesn't come out of me like that.
It's not you.
Nah, that's not me. I tried though. I tried my best.
Stop trying. Just be. Well, I mean, you know better than anybody. But okay. Another funny little story. Just the other week, We're
taking a smoke break after this.
Yes. I've kind of been meditating on that, or at least like remembering that the idea of filling the world with love, especially these days, because I feel like the world needs it. Mm-hmm. Because, like we talked about, it's very dualistic and divided, and I feel there's people in the world that are trying really hard to do good. There's good guys that are really trying hard to do good, but there are bad guys that are trying equally hard to fuck them up. Okay?
Yeah, they're going to have to try hard, man, at this point.
So I kind of meditate on, or I think of, when I think of like world situations like that, I just imagine sending love or like just.
But it's not the same as thoughts and prayers.
What's that?
Not the same as thoughts and prayers.
No.
Okay.
Not thoughts and prayers. Just imagine what it would be like to just. It's like if you've ever loved somebody to the point where you just like, I love you so much, right? That feeling, okay? Right. Maybe it was a dog. Right? Dogs are easy because they love you like that. God. You know what I mean?
Dogs,
they just love you
animals.
like that. I love you so much. But like for me, when I had my daughter, right, I had no idea what love was before. Right? So I apologize to everyone I knew before.
Shots fired.
But all of a sudden now I feel like I really knew what I'm like, whoa, this is like what love, this is what it feels like. And this is not what love is. This is what
One of the facets.
What love feels like when love is flowing through me. This is what it feels like through me. Like, this is what it feels like when I'm just loving. When I'm loving this, wow, this is what it feels like, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just loving unconditionally.
Right.
So lately I've been remembering that and doing that, right? This is funny. So this is like about a week ago. I was in the gym, right? And I'm just doing that. I'm just like feeling love, right? And I'm not goo-eyeing anybody. My face is just like, I got headphones on. Everyone thinks I'm in my own little world, right? But I'm in this little kind of imagination right now, and I'm just feeling love right now. And everyone I would look at, even if in the past I would look at them judgingly, like saying, like, guy's such a douche, And it's like, I'm in a gym, so sometimes you get these, these guys, right?
That are actually douches.
Yeah. So there's like guys that I would in the past I would think of that, but just this one day, I was just, and then like to that person I would think, all right, how could I imagine being somebody that would love them? And I thought maybe if I was their grandfather, I'd say, I would say, I remember you when you were first born. I loved you so much, and I still love you. You know what I mean? Like a grandpa might say that to this guy. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, I'm feeling love for this douche.
That's awesome. That's
right?
awesome. I think that's powerful shit.
So I'm just, and I'm going, and I'm just doing that. Like, everyone I looked at, there was kind of a story of how I'm feeling that love for them. And I'm not doing anything special. And as I was walking by, people are like smiling. People were like almost like gravitating towards me, like everyone, like moths to a flame, like they just wanted to be around that thing. And like girls would kind of look at me and smile, right? And I'm like, and I'm kind of thinking like, I know you think you like me right now, but it's just because I'm secretly shining love on you.
It's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Can you imagine if more people did that? Just walked around and just shine.
I think this
shine
is
love.
I think Ram Dass talks about that. He talks about. Sorry, my eyes are tearing.
Of course, because that was a beautiful story.
That was beautiful.
And I got you all
weepy-eyed.
Yeah.
This has been an emotional week. Ram Dass says that, and again I'm butchering this shit. He says, when you walk down the street, you can look at everyone and say, "Oh, my beloved."
Yes.
You don't have to react.
That's exactly.
But
exactly what I
you
was
can
doing.
look and say, "Oh, within you houses my beloved."
Yes. Yes.
And he says, even if you go as far as to have a fantasy for that split second of the marriage and the kids and the house and the birds and whatever the fuck, but appreciate them for that moment. And then, as they walk past, let it go.
Because I know what it's like to say to someone, "I love you so much."
Right.
So I just felt that right now when I said it. Right? That's all it takes. Now I just do that to anything. I love you so much.
Yeah, but now, as long as you're not sniffing this sharp enough stuff.
Right. But it could be, and that's kind of the thing. I love you so
That's
much.
what you.
There you go.
And that's the important thing.
Right. No. See, that's you could do it blanket. Like, I imagine the entire planet. And I imagine being maybe out in space and looking at this place and saying...
This little blue dot?
That little blue dot, and saying, "I love you so much." All of my friends are there. All of,
That little itty-bitty thing.
Yeah.
Going around the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
There's no steering. It's going 10,000 miles an hour in no particular fucking direction. Ever. ever.
You want something even more trippy?
No, I want to take a break.
We're gonna take a break, but let me just end it with this trippy thought. All right, here's the sun, right? Everyone thinks the planets going like this. Everyone thinks the planets are going like this. We're not, because the sun is going fucking, hundreds of thousands of miles an hour. So we're actually going like this, like
being trailed.
We're trailed like a comet. We're like the dust particles in a comet's trail.
Yeah.
So we're going
that I'm tracking with. Yep.
Yeah. So
allegedly to certain folk.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
But now here's the thing, and there's no fucking steering.
Right.
But
or is there? Well, you know what it is, maybe. I mean, maybe it's kind of built into the thing that. What were you going to say? Built into the thing that the math and music of the universe, right? Which is an ancient thing.
In all honesty, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing or what's happening in any of it. I'm just starting to scratch the surface and speculate what it is.
Yeah.
Not to say before what I was saying isn't honest. It's the honesty and the truth that I know to this point, and that truth might change.
So right now, your truth is holy shit, we are just fucking flying out of control
in
the middle of nowhere.
But there's a bunch of other things out there
doing the same fucking thing.
Just going, and we're just going, and people are arguing over the most asinine things. And I'm just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Can you please just take a moment?
Yeah.
Take an inhale.
Yeah.
And look up into the sky. That's it. That's all I want. For people to do.
I do it all the time, and I love it.
And I'm a weirdo. Because I want to tell people all the time. Hey, okay, can we just look up for a moment?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
That's cool. New ceiling's cool too. But you know what I mean? That's power. To be able to take a moment and be like, all right, things are crazy here on this little.
Yeah.
But breathe.
Yeah.
There's more to this. There's more to this story. There's more to this life, and it's not just to schlep to work and to fucking pay bills. There's more to this, and I think that is why I'm doing this podcast. I think that's why I'm doing any of the things I'm doing, because I found freedom in what I'm doing.
Yes.
I found freedom in that,
Yeah.
and I think that giving other people the opportunity to do that. Again, continue to believe what you believe. I don't want people to change.
Yeah.
I just want you to sprinkle something different in.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Keep doing what you were doing. I'm pretty sure if you do this, it'll eventually go anyway. But dude, making this for everyone to understand, making it more accessible is more important, especially because look at the facts. You don't know where we're going.
Yeah.
Like
the planet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But stick to the science of it.
Yeah.
If you meet people where they want to be.
Yeah.
I always ask, are you into science? I'm not saying are you a scientist?
Right.
Do you understand science? Cool. Establish the baseline.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the comprehension of liquid, solid, and gas?
Mm-hmm.
You do? Okay. So, as we start to explore and establish those baselines, you say, hey, cool, let's tie this in. Okay.
By the way,
go ahead.
You talk about water, right? You say liquid, solid, liquid, and gas, right? If you talk about water, that's all the same thing. And maybe there's a deeper truth to that it's all the same thing in different forms, like steam, ice, water at room temperature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, but that's kind of how I break everything down to people. I'm look, especially because people get so fucking caught up in we talking about bully politics. We feel look, fine, feel how you feel, but the reality is, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
You want to do something to help? You want to just do what I was talking about doing?
Something just fell.
Yeah, that's probably this chair that I
screwed
built a few weeks ago.
IKEA.
Don't let me build a car for you or anything. Right?
I won't.
Anyway, you want to do something to help, right? You're talking about politics, right? And people get caught up, and you're like, it's not going to make a difference. But maybe if you just do what I was talking about doing, if you look at, picture the White House, all right, and say this. The only love is in this house, or this house is filled with love. Imagine that, all right? And you look at a map of the Middle East, all right, and you're feeling love for these, for whatever. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I wanted to end on this section.
Love, people.
Love.
What's love got to do with it? I'll take the Hitler's lead. Jimmy Shaka. I don't know how to sing, but I'll try.